Hello, everyone, pros with babes or expectant parents. My name is Kenya Romanovska, award-winning investigative journalist turned maternity leave and working motherhood strategist. Obviously, here for moms and dads alike with tons of tools to help you engineer your success, leadership, and life harmony like a mother or like a father. We've been around since 2017, pioneering the movement to bring more education and resources for parents in Canada. We noticed that there was a huge gap in terms of what was available, especially to mothers during the maternity leave transitions. And so that led to the erosion of career capital, financial losses, overwhelm, depression, anxiety, all of that. And we found that by bringing communities together, having the right conversations, answering a number of strategic questions, we were able to significantly improve people's quality of life, their career journeys, their financial situation, so on and so forth. So today I'm hopping on to talk to you about everything you need to know to craft a career and family plan at different stages of your journey as a working parent, from pregnancy to returning to work to being a working parent. It's extremely important to use this as an opportunity for leadership and growth and not let things just happen and flow for themselves, because you stand to lose a lot of money, a lot of sanity, and find yourself really overwhelmed and stressed. And that can be avoidable with the right strategies from the start. So it can feel like that when you are a new parent or working parent. We want it to be more like this, right? And to do that, you need to ask yourself the right questions at the right time and put the right support systems in place. And so I wanted to walk you through a couple of those today. What does the successful working motherhood look like? Number one, it's really good to design and break things down into milestones and steps, right? Because there are so many pieces at every stage of your journey, it can feel super overwhelming. So one of the first things we do is break things down into more easily digestible pieces for you and your family. And we encourage you to be strategic and craft your vision for success at every stage. And that can evolve and grow and change depending on how the birth of your children goes, but it's important to have something on paper that you can work from and that you can track and see how you've been evolving, right? So if this is you're working while pregnant, there are specific actions you should be taking in terms of your personal brand, communicating with your manager, financial planning, preparing yourself mentally and physically, things from a health and safety perspective. I would say that the key thing when you're working while pregnant is consider that everything you do affects your personal brand. And depending on your employer and how evolved they are, your actions will impact how people perceive you as a professional. On the surface, people might be happy and encourage you and celebrate with you, but behind the scenes, there might be other things at play. So it's important for you to align your announcement with your goals for your career and your family. There is no right or wrong question. The number of behaviors and the variety of behaviors from superiors to colleagues can vary greatly. We have not we are not there yet. As we say, a lot of companies don't yet have a maternity leave policy. If you're in a male dominated field, you might be the first woman going on a maternity leave. And so it could be a period of stress for you. So you have to take a step back, ask yourself what matters to you professionally, personally, what aligns with your values, what would success look like for you and your employer. And that way you'll feel much more empowered to decide when to disclose your pregnancy, how long of a leave you want to take, what kind of discussions you need to have with your partner, and so on and so forth. So just be mindful that how you talk about your pregnancy and your journey will affect your personal and professional brand. And the good news is that you can have a greater impact on this than you would have imagined. Right? And so have a goal. What is your goal for that successful disclosure? What is your goal for honoring your body's needs, but also delivering on what you feel is the professional way to do things at this stage, right? Who needs to support you? Are there mentors or sponsors that can help you prepare for the discussion, the transition, and tackle the questions if you have some questions that are uncertain? Obviously know that our team is here to help you. So if you need somebody to brainstorm in a more confidential setting, then send me a message, send me a DM, type in the comments. Well, I guess that's a little bit less confidential, but you can reach us and our team for templates, tools, and resources and PDFs to think more strategically. So then, at that stage where you're getting close to your birth experience, it's important to prepare that communication and transition plan, the handover of your responsibilities to anybody who might be backfilling your position, if that's the case, right? And even how much you want your employer to communicate with you during that transition, because the default might be that they won't communicate with you at all by law or by policy. So just know that it's important for you to articulate when you want people to communicate with you. If there are some restructurings, new job opportunities, things that you may want to apply. For some people even like to work 1 day a week, and you need to talk about that with your manager a long time before this takes place, because legislation might affect the possibility of that outcome. So it's definitely, preparing a communication and transition plan will position you as a professional who really cares about the career, who has their goals clearly mapped out. You would certainly minimize the risk of mommy tracking using those more proactive strategies, right? So again, being very strategic, not just in what you think your company wants, but what you want will help you be more confident and empowered. I always wrote letters to myself before my maternity leaves to remember how amazing of a professional I was when I came back. I knew that a lot of things would be unpredictable as I became a mom. So then there's the birth experience, and for some of you that might be a vaginal delivery. For some it might be a C-section. For some it will go smoothly. For others there will be complications. There's the breastfeeding journey that might be established at that point. You might feel really uncomfortable too in the weeks leading up to this. So, we all have to go in some sort of with an open mind, hopefully with a birth plan, a support team. Support systems are incredibly important. For those of you who have watched our community in the last year, in 2021, the big game changer for the moms who were definitely less overwhelmed and enjoyed a higher quality of life is they really invested in support systems, right? So we did calculations as to seeing them as investments and not just costs, and it's going to make a very big difference in terms of your experience as a mom on maternity leave. So what happens here during this transition is something called Matressance. And my firm belief is that we really don't celebrate that enough. Many of us are used to being in this kind of career mindset at work, getting things done, checking things off, and we want to get going. We want to get doing. And motherhood, a lot of the motherhood piece is about surrendering to forces that are often greater than our own, right? And so matrescence is one of those key aha moments that I discuss a lot in our community with working moms. Is you're going to change a lot your identity. You're giving birth to a new identity, not just to a new child, but to a new identity as a mother. Your values will probably shift. Your priorities to some extent may shift. This is very individual, but you will likely think about your career and your happiness and your family health from a very different light. And we found that it's hugely helpful for women in our community to acknowledge those big changes and to put a name on it. And so matrescence is a very helpful one. Hormonal, psychological changes that happen, right? They're physical changes. So really don't neglect the celebration of this very special period of your life. So again, it's good to have a goal for that season. How do you want to bond with your child? Who should be on your team? Are there activities that you want to do? Are you willing to surrender to the uncertainty of the process? Right? So that's a very big change for moms and dads alike. There's also a term called matrescence in that space. So I'm going to actually scroll with my mouse. And then once you've hit your stride, so in Canada, you can take a longer maternity leave, but it's time to, many of you are really craving regaining your professional identity and your career success. And so this is an excellent time to think about you, your needs, and your ambitions. And we can come in much earlier in the journey, but this is really where Pros and Babes has developed customized tools. I can give you just a quick snapshot. It might be slightly overwhelming. So I will tell you that there are a lot of reflections to be had, and we encourage going through worksheets and podcasts and discussions with other career-minded parents. We do that obviously in the Mom BA program, that it really breaks it down into digestible pieces into a community that will support you and have your back. And so, you can really think about investing in your professional development, your network, your back to work planning, understanding the mindset shifts and priorities at a higher level. Financial planning should happen at every stage, but it's huge. You know that I talk a lot about the $1 million wealth gap, right? So that can be prevented and avoided with the right financial planning strategies that don't just involve salary or raises, but working with the right advisors to help you build your wealth defining that vision for success, dual career planning, understanding maternal wall bias, all of that is really, really important during your maternity leave, especially if you're in Canada, where you have that opportunity to have a longer maternity leave. Many people can now get their mom be funded by their employer or local grants. So it's really a way to do that season of life differently. To zoom out, what really matters for you here is break up your journey in different milestones and break up success into different buckets of your life, from your personal life to your professional life to your financial life to your health, right? And to your community. All of those pieces come together. And so it can be less overwhelming if you break it up into those bite-sized pieces. And that's why we're here to serve you. You don't need to do this alone. So that's going to be it for today's outline of the Working Motherhood Roadmap. It can truly help you get out of that overwhelm, really engineer your success and leadership, right? This kind of looks like a milestones and a project plan, and it can enhance your life harmony. We don't really talk about work-life balance. We know that for working parents, this is kind of like an elusive vocabulary. I love the term life harmony. I used to be a music teacher, so I hope that that term inspires you. And again, those strategic planning pieces can really help you prevent what I marked on the ticker. It can help prevent burnout. It can help prevent career capital erosion. It can help prevent loneliness and exhaustion and overwhelm of trying to figure it out on your own. And it can really enhance your personal and professional brand and your experience as a working parent. Okay. So enjoy this resource. Message me with any questions. If you found this useful, please tag a friend, another mother, a leader who needs to know about these resources. This is just scratching the tip of the iceberg. We do these as corporate workshops. We do this in one-on-one and group coaching format. So whatever your needs are with regards to meeting your goals as a working parent, from pregnancy to parental leave to going back to work or to being a working mom, we've really broken it up into a success journey that aligns with anybody who works in a corporate STEM career, male-dominated competitive field, anywhere where the pressure is high. We can really be of support and enhance this season of your life and help you reach your goals financially, professionally, and career-wise. Okay? Have a great day. Thank you for joining us.